Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. Look who I have here. Genevieve is in the house and she is here and she's preggo. So we thought what better time to do a video all about French fries. We just filmed a video for her channel, which I'll link below, and we're starving, so we thought it'd be like a mukbang. What is it called?
Mukbang.
Where we talk about motherhood. She's gonna ask me questions. I feel like she has a lot of questions.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
As a mother of two businesses and a mother of two children, you're gonna help this mother of one business and soon to be mother of one children navigate motherhood. Navigate the, I suppose, even just the world and what it's gonna look like for me.
Oh, it's so cute. Oh, I love it so much. It makes me miss it.
So excited we've got in and out.
I know, me too. A lemonade, yeah.
That's not lemonade, is it?
It is. It's pink lemonade. I got a pink lemonade, and then I got a cheeseburger, and we got animal style fries.
I literally just copied Desi's order. What are these? Are these pickles?
No, those are pepperoncinis.
Are they spicy?
Some can be spicy. I don't find them to be too spicy. Okay, let me take a bite before we get into this. I'm so hungry. I'm gonna have lipstick all over my face. I miss being pregnant and eating.
Do you know what? There are so many things about being pregnant that I love. I'm gonna really miss it.
What are they?
One thing that I love but I'm also finding as a challenge is getting used to my changing body. It's quite a trip when you look in the mirror and you start not to really recognise yourself.
Yeah.
I love feeling her move in my stomach so much. I love seeing her.
It's the best feeling.
Oh my god, I'll miss that so much. And I've met loads of friends who have kids and they say me talking about these kind of things makes them really miss being pregnant.
Just watching you hold your belly made me miss it. I was like, oh my god, no, Desi, no, no, not again.
What else? Yeah, the cravings are really fun. My cravings being pickles.
Cliche.
Right. I think I've been really lucky with my pregnancy. It's been pretty smooth sailing. I was like nauseous for the first
Normal.
up
3
to
months.
14 weeks, yeah. Tiredness is quite wild. It does take it out of you.
I never fell asleep so suddenly than when I was pregnant. I could be in a room full of a bunch of people hanging out and next thing you know, I'm like,
I'm at the stage just now where I'm still really comfortable. How many weeks is it until you start to feel uncomfortable? Just like too full, like there's not enough space.
I'm gonna say my pain point was 8 months.
Okay, I've got time.
8 months hit and I was like, oh my god, I'm broken.
And did you just slow down? You just have to slow down.
With Ocean, I did not. I regret it. If you're someone out there who's pregnant for the first time like you, don't feel guilty about the downtime. I should be doing more, I should be working more, I need to get all this stuff done, but really you don't. Because you'll never have this moment again where you're pregnant and you get to just be so selfish.
Yeah.
Because your next pregnancy, you're gonna have a little kid to look after and be pregnant and you're gonna be exhausted.
Is that crazy?
It is, and it's like, damn, why did I feel guilty for like chilling on my first pregnancy? That's the one time where you can just be like, no, I think I'm good. I'm just gonna like take naps all day. Is there anything that you didn't expect about pregnancy?
Yes, loads. I've Googled some really funny things.
Like what?
Will my boobs go back to normal?
Oh, the Googling is the best part. You Google some weird shit when you're pregnant. They will.
Well, my nipples are
Dinner plate? Dude, the nipples are scary.
and they're dark.
You know that they get dark so that your baby can see them?
Yes, my little blind baby that can't see
Contrast.
properly can find them.
If the nipples go back.
I've also got implants, so I was worried about what that would look like.
Honestly, I will say now after my second baby, the boobies are looking a little sad.
I feel like my boobies are looking sad already.
But when you're done, they go back to normal, like ish.
Okay, too much information.
This is a pregnancy video. It's never if you're wheezy, get out.
That's actually a really good point. If you're not interested, please don't say
Like
anything.
that one guy on my video who got mad that I was like,
What?
I had posted pumping, the milk coming out, but like it wasn't showing my boob or anything, and he made a whole TikTok about me and how disgusting of a human I am.
It was a guy. Perfect. Oh, that's something actually. Okay, we've talked about the physical. My attitude has changed. I have very little time for most things.
No patience.
Nope. I think being pregnant's put a lot of things into perspective.
Yeah.
In a really exciting way. Like things that used to upset me or bother me, I'm like, it literally does not bother. That's nothing to do with me. The too much information thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I smell different.
Yeah.
I feel like I smell more.
Your hormones are going wild.
I never used to smell. I didn't think, but then my sense of smell is really strong and things really bother me.
Maybe you just didn't smell yourself.
Oh God, no, that's the worst. What if I've been running around stinking and no one's told me? No, I feel like I've got too many close people in my life for
Your
that
senses
to be.
get really heightened when you're pregnant. Like you can't even stand certain smells sometimes.
I was on a plane recently and a woman was in the aisle in front and there was a man in the aisle behind and they were talking to each other and the aircon thing was pointing towards me and their breath was getting blown into my face and I was literally like this. It was disgusting.
You haven't even taken one bite of your burger and I'm over here like...
I've been talking a lot.
You have. And I've been really taking advantage of your talking and eating because I've been so hungry.
This is huge.
It's everything I wanted right now. I was craving this. I was like, you should pick what we eat because you're the pregnant one. She goes, no, I'm not fussy. And I'm like, okay, I can already tell I'm going to have to be the one to pick this. So I'm going with In-N-Out because I was craving it.
Nah, that's one thing I'm not going off really anything apart from avocado and toast.
Really? You know what? I couldn't eat any meat when I was pregnant. I couldn't eat any meat, no bacon, no nothing. Don't worry, the carpet's a mess. No meat at all. And I still have a hard time with it now.
But apparently what they say is your body wants what it needs during pregnancy, right?
Maybe.
Like your
I mean, I don't think so. If that was the case, my baby would need, what, soda? Harley needed fast food. And like, I gained weight with her because she wanted all the bad shit. Ocean only wanted healthy stuff.
That's another thing. Weight gain. I've already gained, according to my app, the weight that I should have gained from my whole pregnancy by now.
That was me.
One thing that I'm really shocked at, everyone warns you about this, the first like 12, 14, 15 weeks feels quite long and then after that it just speeds up.
And then when you hit your third trimester, it'll slow back down again. Because then you feel like, oh my God, get this baby out of me. Like this is just going so slow. And every pregnancy can be totally different. So like my first pregnancy, I was like chilling. I felt so beautiful, the most beautiful I've ever felt in my life. I didn't get nauseous, not once, like barely. I think I got kind of nauseous.
Not even at the start?
No.
Do you think that that's got something to do with the fact that Ocean was a boy?
They say that, but I have friends who had boys and they were nauseous. So I don't know. But Ocean's pregnancy was so wonderful. I mean, my labor was kind of tough, but everything was great. And then Harley's pregnancy was really hard on me. Like, I was like, I'm done.
Just physically, everything?
I gained way more weight. I craved way bad shit. Never felt uglier. Oh, it just sucks when you look at yourself and you're like, what is that? What's going on?
I definitely don't feel beautiful unless I put the effort in. See, when I put the effort in and I wear great clothes and I've got makeup and my hair done, I feel great. And I feel like Mother Earth. I'm like, this is the coolest thing I've ever done. But see, if you catch me on like a slob day, it's pretty rough. Also, you're the person that made me realise there's a very high possibility that a lot of my hair is going to fall out. This is really bad timing for me because I am growing out an undercut. I'm going to have long hair in the middle of my head here and no hair around the perimeter. Look at this.
You know, I was wondering what that was. I did see it and I was like, wait.
It's the craziest looking thing ever.
I mean, it's different for everyone. For me, my whole perimeter, everything gone. Even here, gone. But it's like a thin band here.
Wow.
I mean, if I don't slick my hair back like this, which I try not to, but when when I'm desperate, I do it. It's just like sprouting everywhere.
Oh God. But it's
my hair's growing back. Yeah. Dude, I could eat another burger. Like,
are you still hungry? This is the best.
I don't know. I shouldn't because I'm trying to be in my snatched era. After my first pregnancy, I felt like I actually enjoyed my body more after having Ocean. I just filled out like I always wanted to.
Yeah.
Before having kids, I felt too skinny and I couldn't gain the weight. And I got bullied for being too skinny when I was a kid. So it was like very something that was
ingrained.
So after having Ocean, I was
you
like,
just felt really womanly.
I did. I felt like I came into my body. I was like, this is nice. And I had a booty and like my hips kind of opened up. I was like, this is great. I still feel that, but my body's struggling a little bit this time around.
Do you know what? I'm not going to comment because I think you look amazing, but it's not for me to...
We don't like to comment on our bodies after pregnancy because we don't want to like promote snapback, but I'm not talking about snapback. I'm just talking about like how you see yourself after. Like I felt such a confidence after Ocean. After the second pregnancy, it's a little bit more tricky. Like I'm really trying to not pick myself apart.
Oh God, that's one thing that actually, whenever I say anything that's quite positive, there's always someone nearby to be like, yeah, it's not going to be like that. Or
I hate
just
when
you
people
wait.
say that. Wait till the terrible twos. Wait till this.
No, yeah, just wait till this. I posted an Instagram story about how excited I was for her to keep me company in the bath when I was in the bath, because when I was young, I would always sit on the toilet and talk to my mum.
That story. That was so sweet.
There were so many people in my messages just be like, just you wait, you're never going to get a moment's peace. And I was literally
choking on this lemonade. Sorry, that lemonade just went down the wrong hole. People that say that are always anticipating what will happen next and not living in the moment.
Yeah. Okay.
No one should be thinking about what's to come or like in a negative way. Like that's why people get anxiety.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking about something that you can't control or that hasn't happened yet. So when people say that, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I live in the moment, and in this moment, this is my reality. This is what life is all about. And how are they to know what your kid's gonna be like when every kid is so different? Ocean's not in the terrible twos yet. He might be. But there's some things that people have told me, oh, wait till this happens, and it didn't happen. And then there's some that are like, oh yeah, I totally understand what they're saying, but what's the point of thinking about what isn't here yet?
Totally.
There's a lot of things that people like to say like that. Oh, just you wait, just you blah, blah, blah. Most people don't really mean it in a negative way. They're just like trying to relate to you and like talk about motherhood and what's to come. And I think that's really their perspective, but it always spinning a positive thing into a negative. And I don't think people realize that that's what it's doing.
Did you get anyone commenting on your size?
Oh my gosh.
I had maybe the other way around. I remember meeting people and them telling me, oh, I'm bigger than you after a meal. And they're like, are you even pregnant? I'm like, yeah.
That's the one thing I really do hate, because you don't know what they've been through. For me, I was trying to get pregnant for so long that I craved the bump. Like, I just wanted to feel it, see it, whatever. And if anyone was like, oh, I don't really see anything, I could imagine that would hurt my feelings a little bit.
I had the very beginnings of a bump. I even remember going, look, and even friends of mine just being like, there's nothing there. Shut up. And I'm like...
You know what you will do though? You will go back at pictures later that you took when you thought you had a butt. But I think it's okay for you to do it to yourself. But I don't like when people comment on the size of a bum.
It's true. I mean, I'm allowed to do absolutely whatever I like at any given moment. But other people, I'm like, please no.
No.
So I'm 27 weeks. We are the size of a chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake? I never got a chocolate cake.
Did you get fruit? A papaya.
A papaya?
If I stand up.
When you walked in though, I couldn't even like, cause your shirt is
baggy.
baggy.
My t-shirt's baggy, yeah. I just look like, what?
Then there'll be a point where it's like not even a baggy t-shirt cause it's just sitting on top. You are such a cute prego. You're absolutely glowing. You do have the glow. You're just in that moment right now where you're just this glowing mother.
I think I'm really enjoying this phase where I'm comfortable, I can work, everything's normal, everything's fine.
What is the one thing you're most excited for when your baby's here? Like something that you think about, like, oh my gosh, can't wait for this moment.
Oh, the first time she smiles at me, I'm gonna have a meltdown.
It's so
even
cute.
just the baby noises and stuff.
The belly laughs, where it's like that deep, like, the baby.
I'll try. Yeah, all of that. I think I'm such an emotional person. I'm so sentimental. All those like first, I think I'll really cherish. I think it will be the best. Like the first time that she recognizes me.
Well, that'll be so instant. Like sometimes they just know you're the mama.
It's so exciting. It's too exciting.
For me, before having the babies, I always just longed for the moment that my baby would say like mommy, or you know, or like mommy I love you, and like that, because I used to tell Steven, I'd lay with him at night and be like, can you believe like one day Ocean's gonna say like mommy and mommy I love you, and that's just gonna kill me. And now he says it all the time.
I was gonna say he says it all the time.
The other morning he wakes up and he goes, oh, I should go downstairs. You want coffee? I'm gonna go make coffee. He wasn't feeling so well that night. Like he was having breathing problems, so I put Vaporu on him. Fix. I put it on him while he was sleeping, and he pops his head back in. He goes, thanks for the Vaporu, mommy. And I was like, how does he remember that? But the fact that he said that, and then he goes to leave, and then he pops back in, he goes, you're beautiful.
That's just insane.
Insane.
Do you think
you can't even make this shit up, like how cute it is.
Does he get that from Steven?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I made a TikTok about this. But I was saying, my best advice to anyone that's dating right now in a relationship, look at all the flaws of the person you're dating, because everyone has flaws. But if you're willing to have a person exactly like the person you're dating, then you're good. Because your kids could quite literally turn out to be an exact replica of who you're dating or who you're with. When I look at Ocean, I'm like, he is all of these things because Steven, well, both of us, I like to take a little credit too, you know? But the way that he treats me is the way he sees Steven treating me. And he is so sweet and gentle. And like, if you were an asshole, my kid would be an asshole maybe. I don't know.
Absolutely, that's so sweet. I promise I'm nearly finished. I'm behind. Look. No more spitting food out on the desk.
It's good that you don't eat that fast though, because do you get any heartburn or anything? I didn't get heartburn really, but...
I've got Gaviscon in my bed. Do you know what Gaviscon is?
No, is it like Tums? You just be popping them? With Harley, I did eat some, but it wasn't really that crazy. With Harley's pregnancy, I was really nauseous for the whole first trimester. I said, it feels like I'm car sick every single day. Like, Steven would wonder, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, what do you mean, what's wrong with me? I feel like I'm car sick every single day.
It's horrific. The first trimester, which is like 12 weeks, right?
The first 3 months, yeah.
I was really sick, like feeling. I never was. I was physically sick twice. And that's
I never threw up, which was lucky.
But the nausea is enough.
I almost wish I did throw up though.
Yeah.
I would feel relief.
Did you run to the bathroom a few times?
I did, thinking that I would throw up, and
It's terrible.
It's
and
just awful.
someone said to me that it can come back later, and I really hope it doesn't,
It
because
didn't come back for me. I don't think it'll come back for you. I'm gonna manifest it's not gonna come back.
Thank you.
That's it. You're good.
It's debilitating when you feel sick like that.
But
you can't film. You can't you couldn't
just
do
gotta
this.
give in. You gotta give in.
Yeah.
To pregnancy.
Yeah.
I wish I could go back. I did way too much when I was pregnant. I didn't need to be doing all that shit.
It's really nice when someone says as well, like I think I put up a story yesterday saying the jet lag this time round is really getting me, and it's definitely because of pregnancy as well, because I can't.
You're sleepy.
Yeah, I'm just sleepy anyway, so I fall asleep really early, and someone messaged me saying, I don't know how you're doing this while being in your third trimester, and I was like, thank you just for saying that.
Yeah, right?
that's all I want.
You know what's so nice? When people say, how are you feeling? But you know what's even nicer is when they ask how you're doing after you have the baby. Because a lot of times people forget about, doctors definitely do, especially here. Like nobody checked on me after having Ocean, because they wouldn't even see me after, because the pandemic was happening, and they said no, we're only seeing pregnant women now, and I had stitches and everything, and nobody checked on me. Like, so
this is where it's really different, I think, in the US versus the UK. So we already have a midwife that's scheduled to come 4 times after we get home with the baby, to come and make sure that if I'm feeding, to make sure that I can manage that all right.
Wow.
To make sure that I'm okay, like physically, if there's anything going on down there, to make sure that the home environment's okay.
We don't have any of that.
That's crazy, and you guys pay for it.
I know. Yeah, we don't have that, but I felt really like, especially with your first, you're going through so many emotions. I was so hormonal. I had a little bit of baby blues. You're looking at your body like, whoa, is this ever gonna go back? Like, this is crazy. That's one thing that I only realised recently, is after you give birth, I'm not deluded, I know that there's definitely going to be something still there, but you still look pregnant for like 2 weeks. I feel like I still look pregnant at night. During the day I'm okay, but at night I feel like I still look 5 solid months pregnant, like, because that's when you're the most bloated. I'm at a point right now where I'm like, what's in there? I'm like, is that still my stomach just like expanded, or did I gain weight? My lower, where everything really sits, is where I feel something, and so I'm kind of just like, did I have this the first time? I don't think so.
I wonder if there's anything to do with having more than one kid.
I'm sure. The second pregnancy, everything happens faster. You show faster, like, because your body already knows, you know? It might be just weight that I gained, because I ate a lot of shit with it. It was really disgusting. Like, she made me crave sodas, which I don't really typically drink, and it's, like, been tough, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I always wanted a soda.
Do you want it
now? No. Now, I can leave it, but it's still something there, because I think she literally made me, like, a little addicted to it.
Yeah, maybe. That's one thing I find myself, because I'm not drinking any alcohol, obviously, and I've got, I'm still doing like social situations, I'll have like a mocktail or a juice or a fizzy drink or something. Full of sugar. Absolutely full of sugar.
Everything. It was bad. I'm really trying to be better now. I've been eating healthier, and not this, because I was craving. This is why I was craving this, because I haven't had it in so long.
Yeah.
No. It's good now.
I get asked a lot what things make me nervous. Part of me is nervous about how soon I'll feel okay again to go like almost back to work. But everyone I speak to has got a really different answer, because it depends on the person, right?
I would say going back to work is different for everyone. We are very lucky that we can work from home.
And also we can creep back. It's not like I'll go back to work fully as I am now.
Because we can do everything from where we are. So for me, I still, like I just was telling her that I'm still with Harley full time every day. So like I work and do everything with her, and I try to get done when she's napping. Yeah. And my mom will help me and like take Ocean and do fun things with him while I'm working, so that I could, get something done. Because if it was Ocean and Harley, it's so hard. Yeah. So you go back to some capacity, probably quite early, like... 3 months.
Okay.
After 3 months, I was like, I felt so much guilt with my team. I was like, oh, okay, I'm kind of back, but I'm not. I was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like, if you really need to do stuff, of course, I was always still kind of working, but when things started to get busier, was 3 months postpartum, and now I'm fully back, and I'm 6 months now. So also breastfeeding takes a big part of that. If you're breastfeeding full time, then that makes it different for work schedules, because you're always attached.
So this is something that I don't know either, and I feel like it's things that I should know. But when you're breastfeeding, how often do you feed?
It's different for like their age and size. So like weight. So let me think about my breastfeeding schedule. So it was, I would feed, and then after I feed, I would pump. Like every 2 hours, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so it sounds very complicated.
Okay, but it's every 2 hours from the moment you start. So when you're breastfeeding and if you decide to pump, when she starts eating, that's when you need to count the 2 hours from when you need to feed her again.
Okay.
So say she feeds on you for like 30 minutes, then you pump, and it takes you, depending on how you pump, maybe like another 20 minutes. So then you have only that short amount of time before you have to be feeding her
10
again.
minutes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So it's like just constant.
So you're just constantly either got a baby or a pump.
Yeah. I felt like I was attached to a pump or a baby at all times, and it kind of made me a little crazy.
Yeah.
Mentally, breastfeeding was really hard for me.
Okay. No, I can see.
But for some people, it's not. So don't let anyone freak you out about it. All right, here's one.
Yeah.
How many babies do you see yourself having?
Oh, I've got the same answer that so many people have. I would love a boy and a girl, which is 2.
Yeah.
I'm an only child, so I don't have any siblings at all. So weirdly, it has crossed my mind that I would actually be happy with 1. But then because I'm an only child and I had a great time, my mum and dad had me really young, so we could I didn't feel like I was without fun or any of that kind of stuff.
For me, I had a lot of siblings, and I know what it's like, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And I had a friend who was like, maybe I just want 1. And then another one of my friends was sitting there, and unfortunately, she recently lost her mom. I don't think she had a close relationship with her dad, and I want to cry every time I think about how she said this, but she said, as an only child, my mom just passed away, and I have no one to talk to about the memories we shared with her.
Oh no, that's really
because I shared them with nobody. And she goes, I'm scared that I will forget her because I can't, what if I forget these memories? I have no other perspective. Like with your, like with siblings, you have, oh, remember when mom did this, or like whatever. There's perspectives, different perspectives of your parents through your siblings. But like she said that it's so lonely now, and she just didn't have, and we were all in tears. And when I think about it, it's
such a good point that I would never think about.
Right, because you luckily didn't have to experience that, but for somebody who did have to experience that loss, I was like, oh my god, I can see how that would be really hard.
A question from an only child person to someone that's got one of 4. Is your relationship with your siblings as significant as the one with your parents?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, it always changes, I think. I think it depends on your relationship with your parents.
Yeah. To me, my parents are like 2 anchors, and I can't imagine having a sibling that would feel the same way because I don't have one, but it must be kind of similar.
Yeah, no. You won't feel that way with every sibling. It's like you just,
It's like immediate family. I always remember immediate family, asking what that was, and it's your siblings or your mum and dad, and that's it. So I was like, oh, it's just my mum and dad.
I also think whatever experience you have, you could like either way. You know, like you're somebody who you were fine with being an only child because that's what you experienced.
Yeah. People always ask the same thing when you say you're an only child. They go, or were you spoiled? And I wasn't in a material sense, but I was in love and attention, because I was it. I was like everything, so it got poured into me.
That's kind of nice.
Which was so nice.
What's that like?
Nice.
As one of 4, what's that like?
There must be a limit to how much a parent can give, and when you divide it by more and more, it must get.
You know what I feared when I was pregnant with Harley? Like, how will I love her as much as I love Ocean? How? And now I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with her. I cried the other day looking at her because I was like, there was a possibility that I couldn't have had you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because I did IVF, right? So originally, like, I only wanted boys.
Yeah, you said this to me.
Right, because I had all brothers, and so I think I always pictured myself having boys. I don't know why. Maybe that has something to do with, like, parental relationships too. I don't know. I just felt like that was the dynamic I knew was brothers, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna have boys. And with IVF, we did it to where you could actually pick. And with my first, I didn't want to pick because I felt like everything was so manufactured that I wanted it to feel as spontaneous as possible. But I knew they were gonna pick a boy low-key because I have mostly boys. I almost expected it, but with Harley, it was like, I don't know if I want or can get pregnant again after this. So do I want a girl? And Steven wanted a girl, but he was like, but whatever, if you want a boy, let's just do a boy. And I thought I was just gonna do a boy. And so that's why I looked at her the other day and I cried thinking, you could have just never been, and I would have.
That's so crazy.
And now knowing her and seeing her, I'm like, I could never imagine my life without her. I'm like obsessed with her.
Your pregnancies were different, but do you think it's got anything to do with the fact that you had a boy and a girl.
People say that, and I do believe it though, because that was night and day.
They say that with boys, you're never more beautiful, you feel gorgeous, you are beautiful, and girls suck everything out of you.
Well, I think it is, you have so much estrogen in your body, and then your girl's estrogen and your estrogen, and that's what makes it that way.
Emotionally, did you feel differently with your pregnancies as well? Someone said to me, I posted an Instagram story of me crying on the couch because I love crying.
I love crying too.
I like crying
a good
anyway.
cry.
Yeah.
Like a good happy, I like a good happy cry. Like emotional, thinking about beautiful things cry.
Yeah,
I also like making people cry.
Do you?
Not like how you think, but like when I make videos, I like to really invoke emotion in my videos, and I like to make people feel like what I'm feeling in that moment. And so a lot of what I post on stories and things like that, and like my videos, I like to just share it in a very emotional way. And a lot of people will be like, oh my God, I'm crying now. And I'm like, oh.
I can see that, and actually I can kind of relate.
But it's like a good cry.
Yeah, like when I posted my announcement, the amount of people that are like, I'm crying my eyes out. And I was like...
I cried.
Did you?
I was really happy, and the way you did it was so... Oh, that was one of the things.
Yeah?
We just did a video together.
Yeah.
And she asked me, has anyone done something that you're like, oh, I wish I would have done that. It was your
It was the flowers.
Yes. No, it was the
the Polaroid. Thanks.
I was like, why didn't I think of that? That's so
It's cute, isn't it?
precious. I loved it. I sent it to Steven, and he was like all emotional too. And I was like, look how cute this is. It was perfect.
Do you know what's funny? I launched my brand the exact same way. So I had Vive come up when I
yes,
slid it
remember.
in. So I did the same thing. So everyone just thought it was another launch, and then when they saw the scan, they were like, ah.
That was
so good.
Full circle moment right there.
I posted a thing on my stories the other day, having a good cry. Someone messaged me saying I was so like this with my girl when she was pregnant with a girl.
You know what? That's true. I was too.
It must just be all the hormones. It must just be the mixture, because it's a lot going on.
All right, so we've talked about pregnancy.
Yes.
We've talked about babies. You want to. I think I'm done with 2. I think I'm good. I haven't said that out loud to like the world yet, but I think I'm good. My second pregnancy was so rough. You know,
That's another thing.
I was hospitalized. I had to be bed rest. It's just been so difficult for me in general.
Oh my God, yeah, of course I remember.
Yeah. I'm just emotionally, physically, like really, I'm good here.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do it again.
There's something as well, there must be about looking at your 2 happy, healthy kids and being like, great.
This is great. I'm very happy. I'm very content. Although Ocean asked me for a brother the other day. He's literally only 2, and he's like, he asked me for a brother. And I was like, what? I thought that wasn't going to come till like at least 5. We'll see. I don't think so. I'm good.
Pregnancy, you know, it's such a blessing, and it's the most magical thing ever, but it can be really hard and really brutal. Do you think that pregnant women feel like they can't say when things are hard? Them saying that it's hard means that they're not grateful, that those 2 things appear?
I don't think... I think everyone is valid in their feelings no matter what. I feel so strongly on this subject because... You know, I did the series, right? And I talked about all my struggles, and I was in so much pain, and I talked about everything, and people were really on my team, you know, supporting me. It's interesting because when you're really happy in your pregnancy, there was some little comments here and there that were like, you're such a show off of your, like, you know, just showing your, like, how great your kids are. This is so, you know, there's mothers out there who can't have babies, and I'm like, oh, I should feel bad about now. I was a woman that way, that couldn't have a baby, and I never felt bad about my friends having babies or things like that. Like, it made me feel like, oh, I can't share my joy. And then when I would share things that are really hard about postpartum, which you should be able to share that things are hard postpartum, because they are. Women feel so alone, and there's postpartum psychosis and depression and anxiety. There was this one DM I got once, and she was like, ugh, you're such a complainer, and here there's people trying and you're just complaining. And I said, there's a difference between complaining and stating fact.
Yeah.
This is fact that women do go through this, and we should feel okay about talking about postpartum things because it's happening to us, and the fact that people are out there telling you, don't talk about it, don't complain about it.
I can't imagine feeling like that and then feeling like I can't talk about it or share, because then you don't have support if you're just suffering in silence.
I actually don't usually write back very often, but when I do, I hope that I can shed light on what they're saying.
Just so they don't do it again.
Right. And I could see that she was very supportive when I was hurting through fertility treatment and like past messages. You know, I tried to let her know that like this is part of that. Just because I have the baby doesn't mean that I don't matter anymore and my feelings don't matter anymore and how I'm feeling or whatever. So it's like, it's the best time to check on your friends is after they have a baby. And before having a baby, I didn't do that, you know, like I didn't know. And I had a friend who I had to call her, and like she's one of my best friends, and I was like, hey, if I wasn't there enough for you after you had your baby, like I'm so sorry, I didn't know. You know?
Yeah. But how are you meant to know unless
you aren't? And then after you have a baby, you're like, damn, I really should have checked. That's why I'm saying, like, you know, check on your friends. It's just nice to even be like, hey, how are you feeling today? Hey, how are you feeling today?
Yeah. Oh, no, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Part of me really wants to talk about labour, but
yeah, let's talk about labor.
I feel not actually that nervous about it.
Okay, that's good.
It's like so boring because everyone says this, right? But it's the most natural thing. In the UK, we were talking about this earlier, it's a little bit different. You can go in with a birth plan, which is basically your ideal, and if you are a good candidate for whatever you want to happen and you ask for it, you can essentially get that. Say I'm super healthy right to the end, I'm full term, I'm going into labour, I could choose to have a water birth in the hospital.
You can do that in the hospital?
Yeah,
oh yeah, I think you can do that at this hospital too, yeah.
You can do that in the hospital, but you need to be like healthy and you need to like make sure that everything's all right. The one bit of advice that I've got from everyone is you can have a plan or you can have something that you want to happen, but also be okay with the idea that it could completely go the other way and you could be numb from your eyebrows down, getting a C-section, or maybe you have a super rough natural birth and you end up needing stitches, or you tear, or you get cut, or there's just all of these other possibilities. But I was talking to Desi a little bit about hypnobirthing, which is, it's like a course you can do in the UK that just teaches you a lot about your body. And I swear every movie I've ever watched, I say film by the way in case there's anyone watching that's Scottish and she's like, she would never say movie. I've watched so many films where there's a pregnant woman lying on her back in a hospital bed giving birth, and that is apparently the worst position to be in.
Isn't that sick?
The worst position to be in, but for the movies, it's great.
No, but it's not for it wasn't for the movies.
What was it for?
So,
oh God, what?
This is even worse. Men. They were like men. So basically, laying down was for the purpose of the men to be able to view their babies being born. It had nothing to do with whether that was best for the baby. And ever since then, it's just been adopted, and that's the way we give birth.
Insane.
But the way we're supposed to give birth is actually like obviously gravity, and you work with gravity to have your baby. But that's because that was for the viewing pleasure of men.
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Actually. Sick. So I've already told Jack, I was like, fully be prepared for me hanging off the side of a bed.
That's how you
giving birth
normal.
like I'm pooping, like I'm on the toilet.
I always really want to experience that, and I kind of wish I did try it.
Did you have a...
No, the hospital here is very like you're laying down. Yeah. I think here everything is, unless you have like a home birth where you make the choices. And a home birth freaks me out because I want to experience it, but also I'm like, oh my gosh, I have too much anxiety for something to go wrong, and then I don't have a doctor to be able to like just
I think I would
do something like
that's really...
I wish you could have the best of both worlds and be able to really, or to be able to have a home style birth in the hospital here. I don't think they do that.
That's a real shame. So does everyone just get an epidural here?
Not everyone, no. You choose to get an epidural if you want one.
So
I did.
Yeah. That's like my views on labour at the moment. See all the horror stories you get told. They are a bit brutal, but there is part of it that is helpful. Because
are you on, what's your TikTok look like right now?
My TikTok, I'll tell you exactly what my TikTok looks like. It looks like everyone saying what I thought my relationship would be like before I have kids versus what it is after.
Oh, that's the trend right now with the
two walking and barging into each other, and I'm like, okay.
That's not at all how Steven and I were, so you're good. We became closer since having a baby. And I think it had something to do with we both wanted it so bad, and so like this is just where I think, you know, where we were meant to be. Yeah. So we got closer. But your partner has to be really supportive. Like, I should just check on Jack and just be like, hey, are you doing your part? Because you get resentment, like when you're the one who's gonna wake up with the babies like in the middle of the night. Like that's why I told him, I said, you know, since I was breastfeeding, I would breastfeed, and then the burping and the changing of the diaper would be Steven's job. So it was like we were both doing our part at night to where, you know. There's something to be said about the fact that I'm carrying her this whole time. That does go unnoticed sometimes after you have to remind them, like, and the hard parts of that, like, you know, when I'm really, really tired, or if I'm weepy one day for technically no reason, like, no reason, there's a huge reason. She's like a kilo right now, I don't know. If Jack goes, oh, why are you upset? Oh my God, that's the worst thing guys can ask. I'll be like, are you okay? What's wrong? Yeah, it's just trying to be helpful, maybe, or and like scope it out, and I'm like, trying to be sweet. I don't know how to say. I'm like, I don't know what fucking I'm upset
upset about? I don't understand either. Something that I really like that Jack said from really early on is that he cannot wait to get a carrier so he can carry her around right there, which is the closest thing to...
It's so nice. I love carrying.
I'm gonna get the same.
It's so
article.
cozy. Yes.
See that? I love them.
It's like
so chic.
It's so chic and cute, and that's where they feel closest to you again. And Harley always falls asleep.
Does she just
in
love
it?
it?
She loves it.
I can't wait to go for like walks around our neighbourhood.
It's so nice.
Just with the pram or with the carrier, and just getting fresh air every day.
That helps. It also helps the babies too. Helps them sleep more.
That's great.
Because you like stimulate them outside, and they get to see everything. I would imagine that if Steven wasn't helping me and we weren't partners in it, I would feel like those TikToks because you build resentment, like, you know, it's just ugly. But there is times where you both feel tired. We look at each other and I'm like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I'm just tired. I'm like, I know. But we both know, or like I communicate with him. Even now, postpartum, 6 months, I will still have those hormonal like imbalances.
Surges,
And so the other day I woke up and I felt so low. Like I was on the floor. I couldn't believe how depressed I felt just that day. Like all day. I looked at Steven and I said, I just want you to know that I'm not myself today, and I know that I'm feeling really low today. I just want you to know that. And he was like, okay. So then he helped then like take on the load of things because he knew I was just, he's like, maybe you should go take a nap or something.
That's so good though, because there is part of it, like how would he know unless you said, and maybe you just thought you were in a bad mood, you know, because sometimes I'm a bit shitty when I'm in a bad mood.
I'll tell him, I'll just be like, hey, it's one of those days for me, and then he goes, okay. And for him that means
step up.
Yeah.
I think talking about it like this, it sounds so plain, doesn't it? It sounds so like, well, of course everyone should step up and it should be like this, but it makes me feel sad because I don't think it's the case for so many people.
That's what I mean.
And also people that don't have partners as well. I thought about that when I was quite early in pregnancy. I thought about single mums and how they do it and how they're actually superheroes, honestly.
And now after having kids, I look at every single mom as like, or a single dad, any single parent. You are the most powerful human on this planet. That is a lot of fucking work, mental load, physical load, and it's like 24/7 with partner. Imagine, like, no, any single moms out there,
without even saying if there's other stuff going on, like, see, they're obviously single for a reason. What if the other person in that relationship is still about but they're not great, or you know, it's just like, see, dealing with that at the same time as trying to raise a kid well. I think my compassion for parents since getting pregnant is, I think I've always had compassion. You know, you always see like the screaming kid on a plane. I've never been one to turn around and go, shut that kid up. I've never, but now I always ask if someone needs help. Like, see if there's someone that's got loads of stuff and they've got a little baby, I'm like, I use me as like hands, even if you just need help.
There was one time I was at the airport. Steven was not with me. I had Ocean. My mom was getting a bag. She was with me, but all of our bags came and she wasn't there. So I like grabbing Ocean and all the suitcases off the thing and like trying to unfold.
That's hard.
The, what do you call it? Pram?
A pram.
Yeah, we call it a stroller. But yeah, I was trying to unfold the stroller, and literally I was shocked at the fact that there was all these men standing around me. They didn't offer to help me at all. Finally, this woman comes up to me and she goes, oh my goodness, can I please help you?
Yeah.
And I just thought it was so interesting that the woman was trying to help me, but all these men, they were standing there the whole time. They did not even think to ask me once, like, if they could help me, and I was
so
shocked.
Gross. It's so gross.
Disgusting.
I feel like there's a kind of accidental common theme in this. I promise we're not man haters.
No, yeah, we're not. I only hate the men that are trash, so.
I think that's fair.
And that goes for all people, you know. I only hate people who are trash.
So that's labour, pregnancy. We've touched on postpartum. I think it's so good. Like one of my friends said to me, something that's really common is 3 days after giving birth, you will hit a real low, because that's when all the endorphins and all the amazing stuff that comes when you give birth disappears.
I don't know if I remember it being like a 3-day thing. I just think your body after is adjusting. You're also adjusting. Like the hospital just gave you this baby and they're like, bye. And you're like, what do I do? How do I do it? Am I doing it right? It's just so much you can't really tell. But I will say that you sweat. I remember, like, I didn't realize I woke up soaking wet in a puddle of my own like sweat.
The liquids that you're holding.
Yeah, and I don't sweat. Like I physically cannot sweat. My whole life it's like a thing. But when I was postpartum, I woke up soaking wet. Then you'll wake up soaking wet in milk as well, sweat, and you stink. You have BO like crazy. The BO is also so the baby can find you. Like you smell like you have never smelled in your whole life.
Oh God, that is
no deodorant will help you. Like the breastfeeding BO, it's so bad. I had to just give into it. The first time I was shocked though. Yeah. There's things that just happen all the time that I would have never known about.
You said this on your TikTok. You're like, this is terrible.
I was like, there's so many things that just happen that nobody talks about, nobody tells me. Don't you think we should be learning this in school? And I think it's important for men to learn. Like, that's why I think it should be in school, right? Where everybody's learning so everyone can have compassion, understand what's happening with their partners and things like that.
Totally.
Or with yourself. I'm like, how did I not know any of this stuff? Nobody physically taught me this ever in my life. And I just came home and I'm just, what is that? What's happening? What's going on with my body?
It's insane.
Crazy.
Like, I didn't know that I would slightly pee myself every time I sneeze before I have the baby. That happens. That's a funny thing. It's not every time, but sometimes it is, and I'm like, perfect.
Right. No, even after, have fun with that. Like, you know, that's the thing. Just wait till you have it. My friend was telling me the other day, she's like, yeah, that doesn't go away.
Pelvic floor exercises, everyone's telling me. There's a machine though, apparently, that does it for you. There's loads of gadgets on the market.
I have it.
Do you? LV, the LV one. Is it good?
I haven't used it. I'm a little intimidated by it. I don't know why.
You just have to.
I'm like, what do I do?
Put it up there and turn it on.
You know, you have to find the time.
It's like a TENS machine.
It like looks like a little sex toy, so you just really have to find the time.
Like a really not fun one.
Right, not fun. And it's like, what do I, so I just sit there. I don't have free time like this. So just sitting there with this. What if I was like, I actually have it in right now?
I'd be like, that's the multitasking at its finest. Traveling with the baby is something that I think about all the time. I hope I don't come across as negative at all, but something else that people like to say is basically say goodbye to everything that you like doing, because now you've got kids, you can't do any of that stuff anymore.
As somebody on the other side, this is good because I'm on the other side of things and we have similar jobs. I will tell you that I don't feel that way at all.
No?
No. The only thing that I miss out of everything before kids is really being able to be like, oh my God, I'm just not having a great day. I'm just gonna sleep all day and watch Netflix and just not do anything. And having that ability to not do anything, that's the only thing that I miss. I have traveled with my baby and I had the best time. It is a little bit more work, obviously, but we have so much fun. And like, I love doing family things now where everything I do, I want to do it because I want to see his face, like how much fun he's having, you know, and that just makes my whole life. It is hard work, but like I had so much fun. We had such great vacations. Like we went to Mexico last year and
how old was Ocean then?
He was like 1.5. We had the best time. Like we had such a blast. I was just living my life with him and exploring. He got to meet all the family, and I would go to Mexico every summer growing up. That's where my family's from, and stay there the whole summer. And so I just always wanted him to have something like that because I enjoyed it. And he was living. He loves it. He's like, can't wait to go back. So we're going back again this year.
It must be so nice to see your culture so embedded in him so young. Does it make you so proud?
It is. And I am proud until he comes home and he's like, puta madre. And I'm like, oh. You know, my family taught him all these bad words like when I wasn't looking, I think. Yesterday he goes, Mama, I said puta madre tia. And I was like, why would you say that to her? That's not a nice word. And he goes, I know it's not a nice word, but I said it. And I was like, well, why did you say it though? Because people laughed in the beginning, so he thinks it's funny.
It's tricky.
You want to laugh.
Do you just sit there like that?
I just sit here and go like this.
No, it makes me feel really excited, and I think talking about the nice parts.
It's all good. Listen, I mean, it's hard. Everybody knows that though. Like you're not gonna have a baby and think it's gonna be easy, right?
No. Or see, for wanting to keep some things the same because you love them, like traveling or your work and things like that. But there is like it's the biggest thing ever. Everything will change.
It's just the way that you shift the way that you do things. Like you still do them, but you do them differently now. You know, but you still do them.
I love learning.
You still do them. It's gonna be so good. Ugh, I love it. I tell everybody all the time, I'm like, this is the best chapter of my life.
Yeah.
This is literally the best chapter. There is those hard things, but the good things outweigh it, and I love it so much.
That's another thing that I can't wait for, is to see what she looks like and what she sounds like.
That's interesting.
Is it crazy?
I can't wait till she starts talking and has your little accent.
I said this recently, she'll have such a Scottish accent. Mine's is quite soft in the grand scheme of things. Jack's is stronger.
Have you ever seen that little video where they're doing the elf on a shelf and the elf writes on the little girl and she goes, Mom, it's not funny. I've got school. I've got school. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want my baby to have that.
It's too funny. It's too funny.
School. I'm secretly prolonging this video because Steven's watching Harley. Like the boys are watching the babies, so
It's so cute. Jack,
I wonder if Jack's holding her.
I wonder. I still get nervous holding other people's babies.
I think she's out of the newborn phase. I don't know if
she's sturdy now. She's
like
robust
sturdy.
enough.
Yeah, but like the newborn phase is very scary, I think.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is.
They're just like...
They're floppy. You have to hold their head up, otherwise...
like those things at the gas station that... yeah.
Oh, great. I feel well
I think
fed.
we covered everything. Post-pregnancy, labor.
I talked a lot about my opinion on labour, but do you just agree with that? Having an open mind as to anything can happen.
Honestly, like I typed up what I would prefer, and some things, like obviously, you know, like what happens to the baby after, those things will be like your plan.
Yeah.
So like, but with you during the pregnancy, I would just be like, okay, well, I just want whatever's safest for the baby.
Yeah, I just want her here.
I
fine.
threw up while giving birth to Harley.
Did
As
you?
I was pushing, I was throwing up.
Why? Because it was so sore.
I think it's like the meds they pumped in me. I don't even know
no.
why, but like I got so nauseous while I was, you know, pushing that I had to have a bag right here, and it was just the worst because you're just laying there and you're just like this. It took me longer to get her out.
Did you have an epidural?
Yeah.
So how do you push with an epidural?
There's different types of epidurals. You can get one where it's like your legs are completely numb and it's a little bit harder, and then you can get one where your legs are not numb, but
The pain's
I
really
don't know.
reduced.
Yeah, and I was fully numb. At times I was like, am I pushing right? Like you can't really tell.
No.
But I guess I did because the babies are here.
I said that to Jack, how he'll feel if I just go into labour at home. Like if I'm at a waters break and I'm like, we need to go to the hospital, how he'll feel like driving me there and stuff. If he'll be like terrified.
Yeah, and what did he say?
Yeah. No, he was like, I think I'll be okay. I was like, oh, okay.
Really? I think Steven would be like, he would be ready to deliver wherever.
Oh my God, so good.
I just think he's very calm. Which
he is.
Balancing to me because I'm very like everything, like I start to panic and freak out. He's super calm.
It's so nice seeing you guys with the kids. It makes me really excited. I think
Look at this new chapter we're entering.
I know. It's so cool.
It's so wonderful to be on this like beautiful trajectory. Like we're like on similar trajectories in life, just like where we started and in the industry and just making YouTube videos. Now we're brand founders. We're both moms now.
So good. We first met, I think, 6 years ago. 5 years ago. If you told me that we'd be sitting here having done all the things that we've done and with all the stuff to look forward to, I wouldn't believe you.
You'd be like, dang.
Yeah.
We went from being drunk and throwing kumquats at each other. And now, next time when you're in town, you'll have your baby and we can like revisit this conversation.
It's going to be so good.
All right, guys. I'm glad you liked this. Like, it's kind of a podcast vibe.
Yeah, it is. It feels like that. You can just listen. If you don't want to watch me spill burger out my mouth, you can just listen like this.
Oh, look who's here.
Oh, the legs.
The way that she just came over like a little turkey. Was that good?
Are you okay?
All right.
Say thanks.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll link her video down below and we'll see you later. Say bye.